In this video, I'm going to talk about two-factor or multi-factor authentication. This feature is a paid feature though. So yeah, two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security to your application. Besides the standard username password authentication, it requires an external code via a authenticator app, for example. So firstly, let's enable this feature. Save. Remember, this is a paid feature. And next up, we will need to implement this in our code. So the current, this is the GitHub, my GitHub with a lot of code examples. The latest and most up-to-date examples, Python in this case. For these tutorials, I use Python, but it's pretty similar for every other language. We don't include the examples for two-factor authentication. I have a older example where I did include this. Also, you can check the documentation where you can see what you need to send to the API call. So if you know what you are doing, you can implement this, but I will show you via the older outdated example, which has pretty messy code, let's say. Actually, no, I'm just gonna run through the code. I'm not gonna really showcase it. So you need to, firstly, you need to send a request to the 2FA QR code creating API endpoint. Okay, that's a lot. So that's a post request to this endpoint, a two-factor 2FA/user. For this request, you should be logged in, so there needs to be a header authorization with the bearer token. So I will show you in the most up-to-date example how to. For example, when you log, I will explain this in another video. You set in the header, you set a authorization header with the value. It starts with bearer, a space, and then the the user data, and then the token of it, which you get, which is set when you register, log in with license only, etc. So yeah, when they receive the response of this request when logging in, we set the user data to the response data, and everything is mapped. Like you receive the, if we can go to the user data, actually, yeah, we set the ID of the user, the username, the email, the date of subscription expiry, the last login date, the last IP, the hardware ID, and the authentication token, which is needed for a lot of endpoints. Should oh my god, I can't talk. As logging activity, all these endpoints, and the final endpoint. So let's dive into the old code to create. And you want to create a QR code to display to the user. You have that endpoint, and then when everything is okay, when the user ID does exist and the application ID does exist, and those two are connected, and there will be a response when it's okay or created. Then we decode everything and create an image. Here we used a library from PLI. We imported the image, and then we also used bytes.io from IO, I believe. To convert this, because this server returns like this, like the image. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but like, yeah. And they decode it, and etc. And then you can show it with this library. So you need somehow a way to show the QR code so the user can scan this with their phone. After that, you need to verify the QR code, because it will display a 6-digit code in the app, and you need to send this to the other endpoints. 2FA users verify. You also need to be logged in to do this, and you need to send the user ID, the token you've seen in the Authenticator app, and obviously the app ID to verify that these two are connected. And this will just be a OK response or unauthorized, that the token is wrong, forbidden, that 2FA is not even enabled in this application, that this user's account already has 2FA enabled, that there is no user with the given ID, and that the user exists but not in the current application that you gave. So that's verified. So when the user is verified, in fact, the user, this boolean basically is set to true, and then in the next login the user will be required to when login they will be required to fill this in, which they will get from the Authenticator app. Yes, and obviously you can also use the disable endpoint to disable, so to let a user disable two-factor authentication on their accounts via this endpoint. Same as verify, the user ID is required token, app ID. As you can see, like it's all explained in the documentation, like docs.blitzware.xyz, and the responses are pretty much the same, only that this forbidden is 2FA is not enabled. When you try to disable when it's not even enabled, and you will also have an error message because it's not possible to disable something that's not enabled. So yeah, that was two-factor authentication. Sorry for not like actual showcase, because yeah, I don't want to install all these libraries, etc. But you can find everything you need in our documentation, docs.blitzware.xyz. And also, if you really, if you want to copy and paste, you can go to this repository, the outdated version of this one. This one does not have the code for two-factor authentication, but you can use these implementations. Let me find it, to, like, for example, to create QR codes, to verify, and to disable two-factor authentication. Alright, thank you for watching. I think this was pretty detailed, and I think you should know now how to implement two-factor authentication. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Cheers.